Hey guys, wobble wobble wobble, this is Downtown Adrian J with the Kicking the Sounds in London town. Welcome along to Adrian J Online. Welcome back to the channel. Today we are going to do a product review on a torque wrench. Don't go away. Okay guys, I was going to do some work on, well, I'm actually going to be doing some work and show you a couple of videos. I had a gash in a tyre, which is going to be kind of subject of another video, so I had to get that changed, and also I was going to do a 6k service. I'm around about 7k, so I took it to my BMW, brake fluid, and I got them to do the oil change as well at the same time. And I wanted to just check the torques on the tyres, on the wheels, because sometimes they can get done too much. So it's always best to back them off a bit, otherwise you have problems. So that's what I was going to do. And in that time, I saw that I had a gash in the wheel, so I ended up having to go to my mate Mike Bales, Steve at Mike Bales, and he replaced the tyre. And so when I came to do all the other wheels and part of my maintenance, I found my torque wrench wasn't working properly. Now this is the now this, if you can see, is the torque wrench, and I've had this for years and years and years and years, and this has been thrown around. It's I've used this to, and this is before I knew about breaker bars, I was using this to open tight nuts on the bolts on the car. You're not supposed to use a torque wrench to open bolts. You're supposed to use a breaker bar. Okay, I'll show you a breaker bar in a second, but basically it's a long bar, a long bar, and the longer the bar, the more torque you can apply to open bolts or tighten them up. So what's happened with this torque wrench, if you may know, in some torque wrenches, when you tighten it to the specific torque, it will click, like click, 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 and you'll know it's set to the right torque after you set it on here. This stopped clicking, so that's a big pain. Now generally I only use, there's different types of torque wrenches. There's actually 3 types, and it depends on this. If you can see here, this is the size. In other words, when you put the I'll show you. When you put the wrenches or what the socket sets on, okay, so you have 3, maybe 4 sizes, I think you have, and you have 3/4 inch, 1/4 inch, 1/2 inch, and 1 inch. Okay, oh sorry, no, I said that wrong. Smallest is 3/8, then 1/4, then 1/2 inch, then 1 inch. Okay, 1 inch being the biggest, 3/4 being the smallest. And if I show you a wrench which I have, which is a 3/4, right? You can see this is smaller. But what the problem is, the smaller the ones you go, the less torque you can put. This I think goes up to about 80 foot-pounds of torque. I like using 80 foot-pounds of torque. Torque is measured in Newton meters or foot-pounds of torque. I like using foot-pounds of torque. So anyway, this is also, there's an advantage of using something like this over this. They're both different properties. So this is easier on bigger bolts where you need to get a lot more torque, and this one is easier on smaller areas and smaller torques. Okay, so I wanted a 1/2 inch. Now, depending on the torque, right, that you need to apply, this one goes up to 150 foot-pounds of torque. Okay, which is more than enough for most cars, but most cars, for a lot of things you've got to do. Okay, the problem is that because it's not as long, you can't put a lot of force on there, so it's harder to tighten and also harder to loosen. You're not going to use this to loosen, but really you shouldn't be using this to loosen, but to tighten, okay? So this stopped clicking on that when I got to, I'd set this to 103 foot-pounds of torque, which is what the BMW uses, my BMW uses, and it just wouldn't click. You could feel it turning, and it just wouldn't go click, you know, like a click noise. So this is kind of damaged. So this is always good. I'm able to use this for other things. So I had a look around, okay, for a torque wrench, and I decided to go. I wanted one this size because it's easy to handle. But I thought, no, it's a pain if you're doing lug nuts. You really need something as long as possible, which you can handle. So I decided to look around and get a 1/2 inch torque wrench. There was different types I was looking at, but the one I eventually settled on. Now, this is actually a product review. The usual disclaimers come on, and I think there's about 4 or 5 disclaimers. So let me go through them before we crack on. Number 1, I paid for this product myself. Number 2, I got no kickbacks from the supplier, the manufacturer of the torque wrench, or the place where I sold it. Okay. Because this is an independent review, I can be totally independent, and so this is a truthful review. I lose nothing, and I also gain nothing, okay? Now, so, I'm going to tell you as much as I can, and I'm going to post it on Adrian J Online, and I'm hoping you will find this on the actual supplier, okay? Maybe you will, maybe you won't. So, anyway, I bought this from Canadian Tire. The make is DEWALT. DEWALT is a good make, good name. This one was a no-name, one, or is, but it's some Chinese brand which I got in the UK about 20 years ago. So actually it's not bad. Now another thing with a torque wrench, you need to make sure they're calibrated, okay? Because if they're not calibrated, you can end up over tightening a bolt and snapping it, or not tightening it enough and it coming loose. So how you store these is very important. Do not throw these on the ground. Do not drop them on the ground. Do not use them to beat people with. Or do not hit things with them. And don't just drop it into a toolbox, right? So if you remember my garage project, I've got my toolbox over there, and I've got sponge. And it's actually laid in a sponge, in a foam. I mean, this is way beyond that now. But it was laid in a foam, so you don't want it to damage it or come out of calibration. You can get these calibrated, maybe 50, 60 bucks, which is about half the price of what you pay. Well, depending on the torque wrench, so you really don't want to do that. So anyway, this one is a DEWALT. Now, I was looking around to a few other places. I was going to take a drive. I looked up some prices yesterday, really what I was wanting to pay for a torque wrench. I looked around a few places yesterday, and I printed off some things I was going to drive out this morning. Then I thought, you know, why don't, because I was going to go to one particular place. Then I thought, let me get 2 or 3 versions so I can go to. If the first place to go to doesn't work, I'll try the second place, then the third place, right? It makes sense. So what I did was I did some more Googling this morning, and I got printed off the one that I wanted. Then I decided, for some reason, said, let's look back at all the shops again, and which I did. Then I came across the DEWALT one, which was previously listed. And now it's a kit. It's listed as a tire kit with a torque wrench. It was originally listed for $2.99 plus taxes, so $325, $350, so whatever, including tax. Brought it down to 99 bucks. No brainer. Now it has stuff in there which I don't really need because I already have them, right? I just needed this bit. But it comes in a nice case, and so it's a no brainer, right? So let's go and have a look, and I'll show you what it is, okay? Okay, we've got a little bonus for you. So we're going to go down for a little ad break, and I'm going to tell you why. Don't move your dial. Okay, so I don't usually do boot reviews. I mean, if you remember the other one, I did a review on my boots I got. But when I was in the entire getting my stuff, I decided I need to get another set of boots for me to use. I didn't really want to spend too much money. Again, these were on, I thought these were on clearance, but they're not. These were about 119 bucks. The reason I want to tell you about these ones, right? Again, my own money.
We have to take a short break now, Mrs. Tompkins, but after that, we're coming straight back after the advertisement break. We have to earn our money after all, with the smoking sounds of Adrian J's show for the Maestro of Mix. Stay tuned to Adrian J.
119 bucks. They've got the steel toe caps, okay? I don't know the make or the well, I know the make, obviously. The model number. I'm just going to give you the SKU number for it. It's 187-31358. This is a size 10.5. Can't see anything else on like the model, but it's a Stanley. But the reason I wanted to tell you about this boot, right, is that if you saw my other boot video, I had to add them in. These don't need to be worn in. Oh my gosh. I don't know if I'm going to try and show you inside. I don't know if you can see inside. These is so soft. When you put your feet in, they are so silky smooth and soft. These are obviously suede, or not suede, but kind of suede feel material. And that's the tread. But the reason I wanted to tell you about these is because when you put your feet in here, oh my gosh, they are so nice. They just slip in. They're beautiful. So I've never bought Stanley products before. This is the first time I bought a Stanley product, and I definitely will. This is cheaper than what I got from the other shop, which will remain nameless because I'm not supposed to say that. But if you look at my other review, you'll see where I got those boots from. And they're good boots, so don't get me wrong, but they needed wearing and they're still a bit rough around the ankles. These don't. So I think my next set of boots will be Stanley's. They're really nice. I can't believe inside here is very soft, very cushioned. You need to wear boot socks with these, but it's a very nice pair of boots. So anyway, so I'm going to hand you back. So I would say these get 5 stars. Definitely get an Adrian J thumbs up. Go out and get a pair of these boots. Okay, so we're going to hand you back to the channel right about. I've already opened this and I've already used this, which is why I'm doing a review. Okay, so here we go. I had to cut this, so excuse me. So this is the product I bought. It's the DEWALT. As you can see, sorry, I'm going to go through some of the things with it. 50 to 250 foot-pounds of torque. For a car, that is more, or even a truck, that is more than sufficient. Most wheel nuts are like 100 foot-pounds, okay? It's a 1/2-inch drive. To the casing, this is what you get. Okay.
Diagnostic complete. Sensors are
It also
functioning
comes with a
normally.
flashlight. And up to 10 hours runtime on flashlight. I forgot to bring the batteries down. So this is the kit. It looks quite nice actually. And this can get thrown around a bit without damaging the thing. And I'm gonna put it up there somewhere. So let's open this bad boy up. As I said, I've already used it. And when we look at it, here we go. 1 year warranty. 3-year limited warranty. 90-day money back, 1 year free service. Now you probably go back to a Canadian Tire, or you can ring DEWALT. So this is a very nice looking piece of kit. Let me see if I can't go out any further. So this is a very nice piece of kit. So this is the breaker bar. I did not use the breaker bar yet. So very nice, nicely packaged. Okay. Now this is the torch, but it doesn't come. It has 3 AA batteries, and this is quite good because the idea is you keep this in your car. And if you break down, you've got it. You may break down at night, right? But this is quite good. So I think it's nice that it comes with that. The torque wrench, we'll get to the torque wrench in a minute. But you get these deep, long sockets. Now, why is this important? Oh, sorry, let me just, before I go to why it's important. Comes in various sizes. These are general sizes you get on cars and trucks. 17, 19, 21, 22 and 24. So this will last you. So for example, so I have used these for my bolts. Now, so this is the bolt here. So what I'm going to do is, let me put this up on a stand. This is the bolts which are on my BMW. Now they are a 17mm size. So usually when they're in a car, you'd put this is in the car, this is in the wheel, okay? You put this on there and you can turn it. But the problem is, and let me show you on this one because it's just a bit easier. Okay. The problem is when it's in there, this is too close to the body. Okay. So it needs to come out a bit further. So you say, oh, okay, no problem. What we'll do is we'll use an extension. So you whack an extension on, put that on there, put that on there, right? Okay, now with torque wrenches, when you start adding extensions on, it changes the torque, albeit very slightly. Okay, so really you could have a different torque, even though you set this to say 100, this may change the torque setting. So you don't really want too much longness on here, okay? So what we do is, if we have 17mm, this one is just enough to clear the wheel and the bodywork. So, you know, you're going into the wheel, and you'll see when I go into the car, it's enough to clear the bodywork, right? So you can tighten this up nicely. Okay, so now, this is a very nice, I do like this, and it's not too heavy, it's quite nice. You've got like a cover on here. You've got a cover on here, and I don't know if you're supposed to use it with or without it, but it's good because when you're working, you know, you might bang it on there. This is this is for forward or reverse. I don't know why they have a reverse, because you're not really supposed to undo things with a torque wrench. That's the obviously bit where you put the wrench on. Shows it's been calibrated. This is a calibration, okay. And here on the side you can see either Newton meters or foot-pounds of torque, okay. And this is the little. So you get it up to say 100. So these are in these are in gradients of 10. So 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, etc. So if you get to 100 and you want 103, you turn you get it to there, and you turn this bit till you get 103 or 104. So let's say, for example, there. See if I can get in really close. So you line the 0 with, there's like a bit here. See if you can see. Okay, you line it up. It will say 100, and then there will be a line. Sorry, 100, and then there will be a line, and you have the 0. If you have the 0 there, that means it's 100. When you want 103, you turn this, so then that is there, 103. Now, how you adjust this? Oops. How you adjust this is you pull this down. I kind of like my old one, because to adjust my one, or the other one, all you do is you turn this bit, which locks it, okay, and then you turn this. So you hold it here and you turn this one way or the other. That seems more easier for me. This is a bit more, once you get used to it, I guess it's okay. I would have liked to see this lock. So what you do is you pull this down. Can you see how it's down? Now you can turn it. So what you actually have to do is you have to hold this here, hold your hand here, and then just wind it. Also like this. So you wind it one way, or wind it the other way. And then once you get the right torque, you let this go, and then that's locked. Then when you're ready, you put this in, and you lock it back. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the 17mm on, and I'm going to show you. All my tyres are done to 103. So what we'll do is we'll go out. I'll just show you quickly how it clears, okay? And then we'll show you that. So I'm going to show you what I mean. So when it's on there, there is, and I'll show you a side view, when you'll hear it click. Did you hear that? So that means it's tight enough because I'd already done it. But if I show you the side view, can you see how this clears? Okay, so you need a deep impact, a deep wrench for that to do its trick. I like it. It's definitely a good product. It does exactly what it says on the can. DEWALT are a good make, and for $100 you can't go wrong. I don't know if this is going to make it into Canadian Tire's website because of the comments I've made. Maybe not. But I always want to give you the best that I can give you. So if I was you, I would go out and get it. Definitely gets an AJ thumbs up. I think they mark it out of 5 stars. Can't fault it. I'll give it a full 5 stars. If there's any issues with that tire, I'll certainly let you know. But certainly make sure, if you are taking your car to a tyre shop, either make sure they do it with a torque wrench, not the torque stick. And if you ever have to give the car to anyone to do, when you come back, loosen the nuts and tighten them up at your proper thing. Because if they're too tight, they'll cause warping. And also, in an emergency, if you've got one of these, the crossbar ones, you'll never loosen those if they're over 100. Okay. So that's it from yours truly, Big J and Jay saying peace out your time. I'm out of here. Like a thief in the night. God bless you. Bye for now.